On the show this morning, we have Volvic Productions discussing and answering your questions about their upcoming film, The Chase. Good morning. Thanks for joining us.
Good morning.
So, the film's coming out on the 1st of May. Can you tell us a bit about the short films and why they're so different to feature films?
Well, the conventions are quite simple, really. We have a small cast of 2 and only a few locations. The small cast enabled us to focus on the different emotions they experienced and hopefully enabled the audience to relate to the girl especially.
Yeah, that's all you really need to keep with the conventions of short films, really, like little dialogue. We only had a few lines which we felt were essential to keep the audience informed and really portray the storyline more clearly.
No speech. That's interesting. So how did you get the story across with no speech?
Well, we told the story with the different camera techniques and directing rather than dialogue itself.
Yeah, I mean, we think it's really effective. It's it engages with the audience and creates different emotions. We added variation with the different shot types. For example, we just simply took a shot of the main character just walking down the street, and we really made it interesting using a jump cut, shortened the process and kept the audience engaged.
We also used different points of view shots with the handheld camera in the chase scene, and then the audience experienced the film from Lauren's point of view, who's the main character, and hopefully from this the audience will really feel like they're a part of the action, and it will enhance the drama within the film. If we used a tripod for this particular scene, we felt it wouldn't have created the same effect.
In the opening scene as well, we also used a montage to really portray the character Lauren getting ready. The use of really short shots kept the momentum and the flow of the film going, so it wasn't too long, so we didn't bore the viewer. It also enabled us to establish the setting and Lauren's personality within just a few simple shots. A unique shot that we also used during the tense wood scenes was when we actually directed the main character Lauren to run directly over the camera. We felt this worked really well as it established a proximity between the characters and added variety to the visual aspect to ensure we kept the audience entertained all the way through.
So how did you create the emotions within the film?
Well, music was a vital aspect of our film, and we really focused on the different sounds and emotions that the music portrayed. We chose specific music that created dark and tense moods to keep the tone within the genre. We also ensured that the pace of the music and the instrumentation matched the action that was playing. The music also enabled us to really define the genre of the film and kept the audience engaged and on the edge of the seat.
Sounds good. So what genre would you say your film is then?
It's definitely a thriller. Hopefully we've created a sense of tension with the wood scene and really fast-paced action throughout the film.
I'd say it was an unexpected thriller, and I even got scared at myself sometimes.
Yeah, it pretty much falls into the conventions of a thriller. It's your typical woods chase scene with fast-paced movement, actions, along with obviously heavy breathing and the background music.
And even subtle things such as the heavy breathing really helped emphasise the character's fear, and the audience will really feel that and worry for her. We thought about everything, even down to the shots we used. One of the most effective shots was when we used a handheld camera. Like I said before, it added a sense of chaos which conform to the thrilling genre.
Would you say your short film ends in the typical thriller way?
Well, yeah and no. The main story follows the same structure you would expect from a film. It begins establishing the scene, introducing the main character, but then it turns, she's faced with a problem, which seems to be resolved later in the film, but we don't want to give too much away, but just as you think it's all okay, it does take a turn for the worst.
Yeah, let's just say it's not your typical ending.
So I've played the trailer on the show a few times. It's very good. How did you go about advertising your film without giving too much away?
Well, the main convention of the thriller was using a deep voice, and this conformed with the thrilling genre, and really engaged with the audience to make them question why it was so scary and chilling.
We really used all the conventions of a radio trailer and hope we didn't give too much away and make the audience still want to watch our film though.
Okay, so let's have a listen to the trailer. A story of a girl who just wants to party. Known to many for her bad reputation, The Chase.
This isn't the right way.
Volvic Productions presents The Chase.
What are you doing? Get off! The Chase.
But if you play with fire, then you're gonna get burned.
I don't love you anymore. Stay away from me.
The Chase. Nominated by Empire for Best Film of 2012. The Chase. The Chase. Starring award-winning actress Emma Hall. You can open your eyes, but the nightmare won't end. Rated PG. What is the function of the radio trailer?
Well, the whole purpose is to make people want to watch the film and like give them a general idea of what's going to happen, such as the storyline and the genre.
Yeah, we used like all different music and sounds in the trailer to portray different emotions really, like happy music at the beginning, suddenly turning darker, which follows the storyline of the film really.
Oh, and we also use like a deep voice, which I said before, to show the genre being thrilling and to show the audience what the film is all about really. We also have to use dialogue and clips from the film, which also makes the audience want to watch it and be intrigued as to what's going to happen. The sound effects that are used throughout the trailer really help to create a sense of tension and make the audience like really uneasy. We used a real contrast of sounds as we went from gentle whispering to a sudden scream, which really hopefully shocked the audience and get them to listen.
Yeah, we used the catchy tagline of "You can open your eyes, but the nightmare won't end." This really reflects the film, tells the audience what it's all about without giving too much away. The radio trailer effectively achieves its purpose, as it will hopefully make people want to see it. We ensured this through several means, one of which being the carefully scripted narrative. We wanted to give the audience hints and suggest something bad's going to happen to the main character without giving them too much detail, and hopefully leave them wanting to find out more, therefore encouraging them to go and see the film.
So yeah, the trailer was really similar to the film and reflected what was going to happen from the sound effects and the dark music.
That sounds good. I saw the magazine review in Empire. What was the function of that?
Well, the magazine review informs people of the story and also tells you whether it's worth watching. And luckily, the review said the film is worth watching and rated it 5 stars.
Yeah, it was a really good review. Just like the trailer, it didn't give too much away, but it made you want to watch it at the same time.
So, do you think the radio trailer and the review were effective?
Yeah, I think they were really effective in providing information and telling the audience what was going to happen, but obviously not giving too much away. And personally, I think the radio trailer intrigues the audience, and like we said before, it reflects the film storyline, but entertaining the audience at the same time.
I think the music was a big part of the radio trailer, and it makes it effective when telling the story through dark, deep sounds. The music was really tense from the fast pace. We also used sound effects to add to the effectiveness.
Yeah, the different sound effects which I feel made the trailer effective was the car screeching and the whispering of the chase. They reflected the genre and kept you entertained as well as telling you the story.
Oh, and the screaming at the end was really effective. It left the trailer almost on a cliffhanger, which will hopefully make the audience want to find out more what was she screaming for, what was it all about.
I think the review was just as effective when selling the film to the audience. It gave information from the images on the page. 2 of the main images we used were very different. One was of Lauren picking up the alcohol and another of her in the woods. I think this shows the effects of the alcohol and the situation it brought her to be in. I feel as though it keeps you intrigued, as the images were all very different and showed different perspectives throughout the film. And as well as the images, the language we used kept the reader entertained. It used phrases such as heart-wrenching and highly emotional, which I really feel describe the film well, and this will hopefully be effective in showing people it is worth the watch.
Yeah, there was one line in the review which I particularly thought was effective. Something along the lines of, "The flick doesn't hold back on expressing the youth of the 21st century." I feel this was effective in showing the deeper meaning of the film. As a girl is a teenager and ends up in a bad situation, it could kind of send a message out to all teenage girls by saying, be careful who you trust. It also gives out the message saying the youth of the 21st century about being drunk, because that's what teenagers do, get drunk and go to parties.
Yeah. Now, as we all know, constructing a film can be very difficult. What resources and specific technology did you find useful when planning and making your film?
Well, we were fortunate enough to have all the latest technology, which really assisted us in the making and the production of the entire film. We used technology in like all areas, even down to the research we initially carried out using internet sites, something simple such as YouTube.
Yeah, one of the sites which we found particularly useful was Weebly. It was so handy in allowing us to upload all of our work. We found it so easy to manage, and we were able to structure our work and present it clearly. If we were making the film a few years ago, we'd have folders of written work, which so easily gets lost.
Yeah, there are so many benefits of the new technology and the research. We were able to upload existing short films onto a website, so you can actually visualise exactly what we were researching and analysing. One of the short films which we uploaded and found really helpful was of another chase scene in the woods. This helped us build the shot list for our chase scene, and we found it interesting shots to use in our film.
Oh yeah, we also found another short film which helped within the research. It was a scene with a group of girls getting ready for a party, and even though our film was just with one girl getting ready for a party, the different montage shots and close-ups helped in creating our shot list.
So what kind of research did you carry out then to get where you are now with the finished product?
Well, one form of research we carried out and found really beneficial was creating the animatic and getting feedback from the other group members. To make our animatic, we were able to create images digitally, like using a camera. We found this really worked much more successfully as opposed to traditional drawing, like storyboards. It helped us visualize what the shots were going to look like instead of just basic drawings. The photographs that we took were shots in the same location as we filmed as we used in our film, so that was kind of helpful, and they showed us so much more detail and helped to set the tone of what the film would eventually look like.
Yeah, not only that, but creating the animatic this way was a lot less time consuming as well. After we had shots of all the images, we put them together using the software iMovie. This software allowed us to add effects such as fades and dissolves, and also include sounds, for example, like screams or car screeching, which we did eventually use in the finished film. It also enabled us to add sounds of dialogue or text on screen to make the audience more aware of what's going on and to stop confusion, basically.
So overall, you say new technology played a big part in the making of your film?
Yeah, 100%. It just made life so much easier, even down to the fact the camera we filmed on had an SD card, which made it so much easier to transfer to the computer rather than having to capture from a tape. It made us able to use our time way more efficiently and get things done really quicker.
Yeah, exactly. Another thing we found really helpful was the internet in itself, being able to access our lectures website from home, college, anywhere really, just to get basic documents like call sheets, which are essential. And of course the editing software we made the film on. Without that, there wouldn't be a film. Finally, Cut Pro was really good in helping us edit our film, as it was quite simple once you get to know what you're actually doing.
Yeah, it is easy. If we were making this film 10 years ago, it would be a lot more difficult, and I guess it wouldn't be coming out so soon.
Oh yes, on the 1st of May, you can see The Chase on the big screens. Thank you for popping in today.
Oh, it's okay.
Thanks for having us.
I hope everyone's enjoyed it. Tune in tomorrow for an exclusive interview with the cast of the upcoming action, Safe.